Everything's going well already. What can I say? Welcome back, everyone. It's moving day for the Farmall H. Maybe. So far, everything's been working against me. Mostly because it's really cold. It's supposed to warm up considerably in the next couple of days, though, and that means the road up here is going to get very muddy. So the plan is to get the H out of the little garage here on the field, and we will put the Ford 8 in its place. But the H's battery was just frozen solid, so I robbed the one out of the Ford real quick. They're both 6 volt. We've got that loaded in the H. Should have plenty of gas in the tank. The other fluid levels are good, so we'll just see if we can get it running. Will it start? Cold start episode. Let's try it. I have to take the muffler off so we fit out the door. Gas on. Neutral. It likes to start about there on throttle. Of course, when it's cold, all that's out the window mostly anyway. We'll give it some choke today, most definitely. I'll push the push pedal in because there's a lot of drag with the 85 140 I've got in this back end because it hauls like a banshee. All right, power on. Come on, H. I gave the thumbs up too soon. All right, do it again. That's a little bit better. Let this sit and warm up a little bit. Then we'll get it out of the way. We'll put the battery back in the Ford because this is redneck as you wouldn't believe. But I got one good battery. And then we'll get the Ford put in, and then it's H on up to the shop. All right, battery shuffle. Don't let the bright sun fool you. It is cold out today. All right, the plusy post goes to the minusy side on this tractor. Of course it does on the H too. I think we can, we're already warm. I think we can do it with just friction fit terminals. Oh, let's make sure I got the gas turned on. Yeah, we're good. Oh, don't even do that to me. There we go. Never a doubt. Release the Kraken. If I idle this way down, can you hear that transmission gear whine? Hopefully that's coming through. And that's on cold, thick oil. When this thing gets warm in the summertime, it howls like crazy. So that's one of the things we're about to fix. Let's throw her up to 4. I can hear her howling now. Need to make sure we fit through the door. So why all the work to do the switcheroo to get the H in the shop? Well, we are about to embark on a cosmetic restoration of this tractor. Quick history on it. This used to belong to my grandfather. This is a 1945 Farmall H. It still has the steel War Baby shift knob on it. That is one of the cues. And this was one of his favorite tractors back in the day. He did this, it's kind of a rattle can paint job. Back in 1997, he put the old Mylar decals on so that as the rest of the paint fades, everything behind them stays, you know, bright. But it's been fading out more and more all the time. And as the sun takes its toll, emblem's kind of past its prime. A few little dents and dings. It's not pristine, but he was pretty proud of this tractor. I've got a few pictures here. Some of the history on it. There's my grandfather right there. So this is the Farmall H that I have now. And this other one now belongs to my cousin. Those were the two tractors that he had fixed up. But this was right after he dolled it up back in 97, and he was pretty proud of it. And when he got sick, I was able to step up, buy this from him, and he was more than thrilled that it was going to stick around because he really liked it. And matter of fact, this is the first tractor I ever drove in my life. So it's not rare and it's not highly collectible, but it's probably, of all the tractors I own, the only one that I'll never get rid of. A lot of good memories wrapped up in it. So shortly after I bought this from him, I did a mechanical rebuild to it. I didn't do anything with the paint or the appearance, but I completely rebuilt the engine, brand new radiator core. We did a belly pump rebuild, belt pulley drive rebuild. I re-bearinged and resealed everything in the transmission. I put new rubber on the back and I put new rubber on the front. And fenders, I added the toolbox, and I added these lights. Aside from that, I really didn't do much more because I was pretty much out of tractor money by that point. Didn't quite have the time or the means to devote to these that I have now. So it has some issues, and it's in dire need of some maintenance. We have, the usual ignition tune-up that it needs. Go around, probably give it all new fluids, new gear oil, do another engine oil change, probably some new coolant, redo all the compartments. And we've got a few mechanical things to do to it before we get into the cosmetic restoration. Number one is the gear whine, all right? And I know the reason for that. It's not in the ring and pinion, it's in the input to the transmission. We will cover that in greater detail once we get into that part, but I've got another set of H transmission gears here. that I'm going to drop in, and it's a complete roll of the dice because I can't guarantee they're going to be any quieter than the ones that are in it, but I'm betting they can't be worse. So we will do that. The second thing we need to do is tighten up the steering and the front bolster, because after I had done the mechanical from here on back, the best I could do was tighten up that worm drive gear on the top, and it was good for a while, but now when you go down the road in high gear, the front wheels are getting that shimmy back to it, so we need to tighten everything up in there. And the third thing we need to do is get a right, correct, and proper distributor on it. So it's never had the correct one. This is a Alice WD-45 distributor, I believe, and it's not supposed to have the upright one. You can see where somebody's tweaked the hood out right there to clear the cap. I've got a right, correct, and proper horizontal IH distributor that is going to go in the place of that, and it's never really had a great idle. It's pretty good when you get it under power, but I think that's part of it, and I think that distributor has quite a lot of wear inside too. So those three things are pretty much all it's going to get, and then we are going to dive into paint. And along the way, it's going to get a new grill emblem. We're going to do new grill screens. We have a few slats we need to straighten out, a couple dents and dings. We have to dress up around the exhaust pipe here. The hood has never really fit great. We got too wide of a gap there, and then it cants down at the back there, so it skews the air cleaner back because nothing's in alignment. The fuel tank needs to have better insulators under it, so it comes up. I'm going to replace the paper pulley with an IH steel belt pulley, mostly because the Super M's got a steel pulley on, and I found another one just to throw on the H so that they kind of match. We are going to refresh the starter and make sure the generator is still in good shape. It's probably going to get a new voltage regulator, and we will look at brake bands again. Clutch is good. Engine is good and strong. I don't anticipate having to get into that at all. No reason to. It doesn't smoke. It starts well most times without choke, and good power, doesn't burn oil. Now, we are going to set this tractor up to be an even better plow puller. So I've been getting more and more into the plow days these last several years, and I have the IH Little Genius number 8 two-bottom plow that I pull behind this tractor. My goal is to set this tractor up so that it drafts even better with that two-bottom plow behind it. Mainly, I want to be able to try and pull that plow with the drawbar straight instead of being offset at all. I've got to offset it just a few inches right now to get that plow to draft well. The only way to do that is to get these rear wheels even further in than they are now. And you can see with the center hubs dished in, which is the most common way to see these, I'm out of room. So that means wheels are coming off the hubs, all this stuff's getting cleaned, the rims are getting, you know, fresh silver and everything else. I don't anticipate doing anything with the tires because I put these rear tires on just a few years ago. They're good. Fronts we're going to look at, but I put those on 10 years ago. We'll evaluate once we get there, but these wheel centers are going to be dished basically out. Okay, so the heavy center is going to be out, the spokes are going to dish in. We're going to take these wheel weights, which are, get over here so we got some better light, aftermarket weights. They are from the E-Row foundry. Although they look just like the IH factory weights, they're about 20 pounds heavier each. So with these center hubs dished out, I'm still going to keep the weights to the outside. It's going to give me a little bit better stability with the rear wheels in. So far, it might look a little bit funny, but remember, we are not building this for form. We are building it for function. Lastly, this is not an IH seat. The giveaway is the long shock at the back. I got this from a John Deere tractor. The rest of the construction is about the same. I'm looking to find an actual IH seat that has that shorter shock up to the front, hoping to find one of those at the upcoming swap meet here at the end of the month. So if anyone's going to LeSueur, Minnesota, and you're going to sell and you got an IH tractor seat, I know a guy might be looking. So that pretty much rounds out the list. There's going to be a few other cosmetic doodads. Oh, we're doing a new steering wheel too, because this one's definitely seen better days. But I think that'll be a wall hanger. Seeing as how we're going to put so much work into making this into a lot better version of itself, thusly the project is now named Preparation H. Why are you laughing? Soothing, fast, and powerful relief. That's all I'm saying. So I just have to finish the hydraulic pump rebuild for old Christine right here, and then we'll be hopping back to this corner of the shop and digging into the Farmall. I just hope the H can get used to looking at that thing every night, what with the horns and the red glowing eyes and all. And I couldn't resist. As always, everyone, thank you for watching. I do appreciate it. Stick around for the start of the Preparation H series. We've got plenty of adventures up ahead of us. I'm excited anyhow. Hope to see you all again.